This press briefing is in line with our continuous resolve to keep the general public abreast with the efforts being undertaken by the Office of the National Security Advisor in conjunction with the services, intelligence agencies, and other key stakeholders. Today, I'm glad to inform you that we have successfully concluded a high-risk, intelligence-led counterterrorism operation, which led to the capture of the top leadership of Jama'atul Ansaru Muslimina fi Biladis, Sudan, commonly known as Ansaru, Nigeria's Al-Qaeda affiliate. The group was first formed in January 2012 with a public declaration in Kano. It emerged as a splinter faction from Boko Haram, positioning itself as a humane alternative. However, its stated aim quickly turned into attacking Nigerian security agencies and operatives, civilian communities, and government infrastructure. The group publicly displayed the setting sun logo of Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, signaling its ideological and operational alignment with global jihadist movement. Over the years, Ansaru entrenched itself in both urban sleeper cells and forest enclaves across several cities in northern Nigeria and in forest-based enclaves, particularly around Kainji National Park, straddling Niger and Kwara states, as well as Benin Republic. The targeted operation, which was conducted between May and July 2025, led to the capture of two top Ansaru leaders who have been responsible for masterminding several terrorist attacks against Nigeria over the past years. The first is Muhammad Usman, otherwise known as Abu Bara Abbas Mukhtar, the self-styled emir of Ansaru. He is the coordinator of various terrorist sleeper cells across Nigeria. He is also the mastermind of several high-profile kidnappings and armed robberies used to finance terrorism over the years. The second is Mahmoud al-Nigeri, otherwise known as Madam Mahmouda, Abu Bara's proclaimed chief of staff and deputy. He is the leader of the so-called Mahmoudawa cell hiding out in and around the Kainji National Park, straddling Niger and Kwara states, up to Benin Republic. Mahmouda trained in Libya between 2013 and 2015 under the foreign jihadist instructors in Libya, from Egypt, Tunisia, and Algeria, specializing in weapons handling and IED fabrication. These two men have been on Nigeria's most wanted list for years. They jointly spearheaded multiple attacks on civilians, security forces, and critical infrastructure. Their operatives include the 2022 Kuje prison break, the attack on the Nigerian uranium facility, the 2013 abduction of French engineer Francis Olog in Katsina, the May 1st, 2029 kidnapping of Alhaji Musa Uba, Umar Uba, Magadin Berikyoga, and so many other terrorist incidents and attacks. They were also behind the abduction of the emir of Wawa and they maintain active links with terrorist groups across the Maghreb, particularly in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. The two men who are wanted internationally are currently in our custody. The capture of Abu Bara and Mala Mahmuda, the group's leaders and deputy commander, respectively marks one of the most significant achievements to date in our ongoing effort to rid Nigeria of the threat of terrorism. The successful decapitation of the leadership of this dangerous franchise marks the most decisive blow against Ansaru since its inception. This tribe has effectively dismantled its central command while paving the path for the complete annihilation of this group. This feat undoubtedly exemplifies Nigeria's advancing counterterrorism capabilities. The precision operation followed months of deep surveillance, human intelligence, and technical tracking, which demonstrate enhanced sophistication and seamless interagency synergy. Let me use this opportunity to inform the public that in the course of the operation, our security forces captured and recovered valuable actionable intelligence. These include a cache of materials and digital evidence, which are all now undergoing forensic analysis. The findings from the analysis are expected to support our ongoing efforts to exploit this success, bring them to justice, and completely annihilate the residual of Ansaru. Bring them to justice, like I said, and bring down the record and disrupt their foreign collaborators. The capture of Abu Bara and Mahmuda signals the beginning of the end to impunity for terrorist leaders in Nigeria. Nigeria will continue to pursue extremism with precision, resolve, and unwavering determination. The fight is far from over, yes, but the fall of Ansaru leadership represents a decisive step forward. At this juncture, let me appreciate His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his leadership, for his strategic guidance and support to all in all ramifications, which give us the impetus to continue to record successes. I must also appreciate the diligence of the armed forces. Thank you very much. And all our intelligence and security agencies. Thank you so very much, all of you. Who all tirelessly, collaboratively to achieve this target. Thank you very much. In conclusion, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to the media for your patriotism and relentless support to our drive to stamp out terrorism from our dear nation. Finally, let me reassure the Nigerian public, our public, Nigerians, that we will not relent in our drive to make Nigeria safe for all citizens. In recognition that national security is a shared responsibility, I urge all law-abiding citizens to continue to remain vigilant and volunteer timely information to security agencies for their problem.
Thank you very much. The National Security Advisor, the Chief Staff, Service Chiefs here at the Federal Police, the Special Advisor for Government and Media and Strategy, my colleagues, the media. This indeed is a new dawn for Nigeria. I think what we have just witnessed is not often that we get. The federal government, under the able leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has consistently maintained that Nigeria will indeed for all Nigerians. Therefore, what we have witnessed today is another indication of the commitment of not just the President, but all those who are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that lives and property are protected in this country under the able leadership of the National Security Advisor and all the service chiefs. We want to thank you for this wonderful feat, and I know that the world is watching. This indeed is big news for all of us. And to you, my colleagues in the media, let me use this opportunity to first reaffirm the commitment of the government of the border and the community. And second, to plead with you, I have maintained consistently that you do not cede your front pages or your headlines to these terrorist criminals who are trying day and night to make sure that all of us do not find place to sleep in this country. The gentlemen who are all seated here are toiling day and night to ensure that all of us sleep in our homes. Therefore, extolling or showcasing or promoting the activities of these criminal elements does not in any way help our dear country. We all know that these are the enemies of Nigeria, and they must be treated as such. Those who are fighting terrorism in this country are being so, sometimes even paying by the supreme price for it. They are your friends, they are your brothers, they are your daughters, they are your sons. I don't see how anybody will glorify anyone who is interested in killing any of the people that I mentioned. It's incumbent on all of us to ensure that we work collaboratively together so that Nigeria can be free again. We have witnessed the gradual progression of the kind of effort that the National Security Advisor, the service chiefs, members of the armed forces are doing to ensure that all of us come together. And I think this is unique. What you hear outside is that members of security agencies are not united. Today, I have seen, you have seen, all of us have seen how all of them come together to ensure that Nigeria is indeed a peaceful place for all of us. I want to thank you, National Security Advisor. I want to thank you, members of the armed forces, the security agencies for this week. Members of the media, I'm sure my colleagues will continue to give that collaboration, that cooperation that we all require. All Nigerians fighting insecurity is not just that of the armed forces or the security agencies. It is for all of us. Let us be really good to ensure that we make our country safe again. Thank you very much.